seré toda la vida mientras viva. Por amor soy de ti, por amor, 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 por amor.
Supposed to warm up a little bit.
Yeah,
next week.
high beams weather.
High beams or like wait for like a minute. You okay
You know what
with
I mean?
your back?
High beams weather. Anyway, moving on.
How are you? How are you? How was
I'm
your
good.
trip?
I'm good. Oh, it was great, man. It
Let's
was
talk
great.
about
I had a
that.
great time. I mean, I spent my birthday at Disney,
Nice.
hanging out with Mickey in the crowd.
Nice.
But it wasn't exactly the way I wanted to spend my birthday.
Right.
But seeing my kids and my grandson and my nieces and
That
just,
made all the
just
difference,
get
right?
enjoy. I didn't even get on any rides. I just chilled.
Wow.
It was fun.
Yeah.
It was fun.
Yeah.
Thank
have
you, Mickey.
You have a pool in your house, right?
Yes, I didn't go into it.
No.
Everybody got into it, but I didn't go.
You don't like to swim?
You know, I didn't feel like going in.
What?
The water was cold. The heater in the pool was all, it wasn't working too well. And
Yeah.
But my kids didn't care.
Yeah.
They went in there and they jumped in.
Hey, that's.
But it was
that's the
fun. It
vibe.
was fun. It was great visiting. And as you know, it was my mother's anniversary of her passing on
Right.
March 31st. So we went to her graveside and spent a little time there with her.
Right.
you know,
Gotcha.
and did the emotional stuff.
Yeah.
And
Of
everything
course.
and the prayers and
Of
stuff.
course.
But, she's truly missed. And every once in a while, I look at my phone. It goes, damn, Mama hasn't called me in a while. Call her.
That's hard. That's hard. I can't
But
even imagine.
yeah, I mean, we live on the memories. And you have great memories with my mom also. You
Yeah.
know, so it's like she
Yeah.
was the whole neighborhood's mother.
Yeah.
She was
Yeah.
Frederick Douglass' mother.
Yeah. I remember she asked me to sing for her once.
Yeah, I remember that.
This was at her house at the projects. I was like,
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
put me on the spot, but I sang for her.
Yeah. My mother loves that. She goes, yeah, yo conozco mucha gente, muchas artistas y todo. Y
That's nice.
My mother was very proud of the people that she knew.
Good.
Yeah. Rosa, ¿cómo está? She's chiming in.
Rosa, welcome to the show. So you came back from Florida. I'm leaving to Puerto Rico next week, so I'm excited about
So
that.
then you're gonna let me have it.
You have what?
What I was giving you.
Yes,
You better.
I'm gonna send videos. I'm gonna send pictures.
Oh, see that. See now
Viste.
now tú estás luciendo.
Man, tú luciste bastante.
Yeah, but we had bad connection over there. It was very, very windy, and
Yeah.
we had satellite internet. So
Yeah.
you know when it's really windy and stuff like that. So we got we got some cable in there in the
Yeah.
house now and stuff like that. So
Yeah. Bueno, mi gente, if you have any questions or want to call us, call 347-640-3920. Let me say that again. 347-640-3920. Call us and chat with us. We've got a couple of a few actually, topics that we want to talk about tonight.
yeah,
And the first one is targeting Puerto Rico.
Right.
And it's about the bankruptcy, the exited. Well, let me say that right. Puerto Rico's government formally exited bankruptcy Tuesday, March 14th of this year.
yes,
Let's
they
talk
did.
about that.
Yes, they did. It's we talked a little bit about it earlier in the year.
Yeah.
and they've got a lot of their debts that was settled, and the government formally exited bankruptcy Tuesday, completing the largest public debt restructuring
Right.
in U.S. history.
70 billion.
Yeah, and they because they were for 7 years. 7 years ago, they weren't able to pay the $70 billion debt,
Right.
and so the exit means that the U.S. Caribbean territory government will resume billion-dollar payments to the bondholders for the first time in several years, and some $1 billion worth of claims by residents and local businesses.
Mhm.
So this is going to help the small mom and pop shops that scattered
Right.
all over the country,
Right.
the island, let's just
Right.
say, and they're going to put $10 billion worth of they're going to issue
Right.
more than $10 billion in bonds now.
In
to
bonds.
help them with their recovery,
Right.
and they were going to restore $1.3 billion taken from the public pension system.
Pension. That's amazing.
Yes, absolutely.
is amazing.
Absolutely. And we knew this was coming, but they just didn't know how it was going to be structured.
Right.
And I'm glad it's being restructured. They're going to pump money into it, and in the next several years, they're going to pump up to, I believe, up to $10 billion
Right.
to the municipal pensions for the teachers and police and people who work for the municipalities and stuff like that.
Right.
So this is a good thing for Puerto Rico, but of course you got people who say otherwise, and it's not the best solution, but it's a start,
Right.
and it opens dialogue, and
Mhm.
they can move on from there.
Well, this has been Puerto Rico's been in bankruptcy for what, 7 years?
At least 7 years. It's the largest. It was the largest bankruptcy of any
Right.
territory or even state
Right.
in the United States.
And I remember just recently, right after Maria, they were talking how it was impossible to even think about paying off $7 billion. And look,
$70 billion.
70 billion.
75. It was 75 at the beginning, and that's like unheard of.
Right.
Where's Puerto Rico going to come with that? And it's funny, Puerto Rico pays the U.S. billions of dollars every year in taxes and stuff like
Yeah.
New York does. New York
Yeah.
pays. I think Puerto Rico pays more than most states
Yeah.
in the mainland, and it's incredible. But they're gonna the debt restructuring plan. It was approved by a federal judge in January, as we know. That's when we reported it.
Right.
And it reduces the claims against Puerto Rico's government from $33 billion to just over $7.4 billion.
Right.
Now that's a major achievement.
Right.
And with 7 cents of every taxpayer dollar going to debt service compared with the 25 cents that it was previously.
Right.
So it's like what, 3/4 less?
Right.
And I think this is a win-win, and it's going to help Puerto Rico stand on its feet and move forward.
Right. And according to this, the plan also creates like you already mentioned, the plan creates a public pension reserve trust that will be funded with more than $10 billion in upcoming years.
Yeah, that's a lot of money, and people are going to rest easy, knowing that now their pensions are going to be secure. Now we don't know if they're going to lose what they lost, or they're going to recoup it.
Or they're going to recoup
But
it.
it's a step in the right direction where
Right.
you can open dialogue
Right.
into
So,
fixing that.
What guarantees that now that there's an exit in this bankruptcy, what guarantees that corruption in Puerto Rico will not continue
Well,
with
that's why they
monies?
still have that board. That board is going to stay in place until Puerto Rico can do 4 consecutive budgets,
Okay.
which they've never done before.
4 consecutive
so
budgets.
It's gonna
Okay.
stay that way. So once they can level, come up with 4 balanced budgets in a row,
Mm-hmm.
that's going to show them that Puerto Rico is doing good for itself, and they're going to dissolve that board, and Puerto Rico is just going to basically put your big girl panties on and police yourself.
Yeah.
And-
Well, I mean that's great and all, but still, you'll have officials in office who are still looking to swindle.
Oh, absolutely.
So what do we do
absolutely.
about those people?
See,
that's the thing.
That's something that's
Because
gonna
they're always
happen
going to be there.
Oh yes, it's just like anywhere else. It's gonna happen,
Yeah.
and you just gotta try and stem the tide and try and catch them.
Unless
before
Uncle
it gets out
Sam's
of
got
hand.
their eye on it. But
know?
then who am I to talk about Uncle Sam since they've done the same thing?
Yeah. My brother Manny's watching. What's up? My boy Victor Hernandez. What's up, Papa? One of my MTA family members.
What's up? What's up? What's going on, guys? Welcome.
So yeah, for decades, the past governments have neglected to put
Yeah.
aside enough money for this pension stuff because
Right.
of the serious corruption there was. And the thing is, there's just the same amount of corruption, if not maybe even more.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just that Puerto Rico got busted.
Yeah.
Just like in football.
And they keep getting
Everybody
busted.
reads signs, everybody cheats and stuff, but the New England Patriots,
Yeah.
they just happen to get caught.
Yeah.
And hopefully this is the step in the right direction for Puerto Rico, man, because they've gone through so much with Hurricane Maria.
Mm-hmm.
Then it took over a year to
Yeah.
get the light back. Over 3,000 deaths. And
Recently,
and then
there
the
was
earthquakes.
and recently the explosion of the plant.
Yeah, the explosion
know,
of the plant that knocked the whole island out
The whole
for almost a
island.
week. and they started coming back in chorros,
Yeah.
little by little.
Yeah.
And it's like one of these days you think Puerto Rico just gonna flip over and say, you know what, we're done.
Puerto
We have
Rico is strong, baby.
Oh yeah, yeah. Puerto Rico strong. Puerto Rico strong. And then and the thing is, those earthquakes, they can still keep happening because they rely on a serious fault line.
This is true, right? This is
Yeah.
the south of Puerto Rico.
Right.
Right near what, Ponce?
Yeah. It's, in Ponce, and they have the Puerto Rico Trench, which is the deepest trench there is. And when the deeper the earthquake is, the stronger it is.
Right. Right. But there hasn't been any major
No, because
movement lately.
when you have tectonic plates that when you have an earthquake,
Yeah.
that's the plates getting on top, pressing against each other,
Right.
and then one rides over the other one,
Mm-hmm.
and it cracks and stuff, and that's
See.
when you get your earthquakes.
Right.
So now you relieve pressure,
Right.
but
So
now is pressure going to start building up again?
it's settled. It's settled. But I know we're like all involved in this paperwork. Ahora mismo, feliz miércoles, Maria Barreto. Thank you for chiming in.
Thank you, Maria. Bienvenido, bienvenido.
Yeah, so I mean, it's a good step in the right direction.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. I mean, everything is going to have. You're not going to please.
And it actually
everybody.
happened quicker than I thought.
Well, this has been in the works, from what I understand, from right after they started a little bit of the recovery with Maria.
Yeah.
Because once you have that debt, you have to start addressing it.
Yeah, you have
Now,
to.
to what extent they were addressing it, but I'm glad they got to this.
Yeah. So just to recap, Puerto Rico's government formally exited bankruptcy Tuesday, completing the largest public debt restructuring in U.S. history after announcing nearly 7 years ago that it was unable to pay its more than $70 billion debt.
Billion with a B.
Billion.
Not with an M, not a couple
Yeah.
thousand.
So
no, no
step in the right direction. Step in the
Yes,
right
absolutely,
direction.
absolutely.
So let's talk about something you've probably heard, maybe not in your household, but somewhere in your family, and maybe everybody out there, maybe somebody in your family, if you've heard this growing up. How many of you have heard this phrase, mejorar la raza?
I've never actually heard mejorar la raza. I've heard no dañe la raza.
Right. Different form, but the same meaning.
But it's basically
Yeah.
the same meaning. Because I was looking at it and I said, figure out,
Yeah.
what the hell does that mean? And
Yeah.
then I
So-
saw a video and I said, oh.
So those that don't understand what mejorar la raza means, it's to improve the race.
Yes.
And so many in Latin America, in Central America, the Caribbean islands, Puerto Rico, Cuba, we've somewhere, somehow heard this phrase or this implication where it's basically saying that if you are Black Puerto Rican or dark-skinned Hispanic, you should marry a white person in order to have prettier children.
You want to lighten it up.
You want to lighten it up. You don't want to have bad grandchildren. You don't want to, bad-looking grandchildren.
Right.
So basically, what it says here, mejorar la raza, is a common phrase used in Latin America countries which means improve the race. It implies that you should marry or have children with a whiter person so you'll have better-looking kids. The phrase is used by people of any race without much thought. And it goes to say, here an individual says, as a child, I heard my aunt asking my cousin to break up with her girl he was dating because she should mejorar la raza. Her biggest concern seemed to be the girl's Afro-Latino heritage. You don't want to bring ugly kids into the world. What if you have a girl and she comes with pelo malo? That's another thing.
Right.
Pelo malo.
Now I wanna address that.
Yeah. Pelo malo
What-
is bad hair.
But now, what constitutes bad hair?
Right.
Because if you have an afro,
Yeah.
or you got stiff hair, or lo que
Right.
sea, and it's windy,
Yeah.
your hair's not moving.
Right.
You got soft hair or whatever in the wind, te la emborona todo. That's bad hair. You're having a real bad hair day.
You flip
So,
that.
but you know what I'm saying? I mean,
saludos.
Aida
Aida.
Ortiz. Bienvenido. So, a friend of mine, may he rest in peace, Joaquin Melendez,
Yeah.
great guy. And he said that. He goes, bro, que es esto pelo mano? Look at my hair, Johnny. I put gel and everything in the wind. He's like, I'm an afro now.
Yeah.
And look at her.
Yeah.
Her head's not moving anywhere.
Yeah,
And
anything.
you call that bad hair?
Yeah, anything associated with black is bad.
But
You
the
know,
thing is, I don't understand.
coming from
you're trying to
the
get rid
racist
of
point of view.
one of your main attributes, which is your African
Correct,
heritage.
correct. And many people who say, quiero que tú mejore la raza, are people of color.
But you know what's funny?
The darker they are, the more they say it. Isn't that weird?
But the funny thing is, I was thinking mejorar la raza was improve it. Make it better than what it was. It's not saying that you want to change your color. That's not no.
Yeah.
That's color. That's
that's a different concept.
That's it's
Yeah, and I mean there are different phrases like mejorar la raza, pelo malo.
They say if you can't comb, if you can't use a comb, don't bring her home. I never heard that before, but it's funny.
That's racist.
Yeah, that is racist. But then again, I'm not politically correct, so
Listen. So the other phrases is hito. So for example, in Venezuela, I remember friends of mine saying, "Yo soy negrito, pero un negrito fino." Keep that in mind, which literally translate to, "I am a little black person, but a fine little black person." The Spanish diminutive suffix ito is commonly used to infer small and less harsh. Instead of identifying yourself as black, you add ito to reduce your blackness. Like, fine.
negrito,
Right.
morenito,
Right, to reduce-
trigueñito.
right, exacto.
You know what I do? I'll say, look, take the ito.
Ito.
Tú
Get
eres
rid of that
negro.
ito.
Tú eres moreno.
They call me Javierito, so don't take that ito from that.
No, because you're a small dude.
Well, yeah, not that small.
You're not a big guy.
And then also the word fino. You ever heard somebody say, "Oh, él es negro pero fino,"
Yeah.
right?
I
Or
always
él
thought
es,
that he was skinny.
right? O él es negro pero es bonito.
Yeah.
That's an insult right there in itself.
But you just defeated what you said about lindo.
Right. Él es negro pero lindo.
He goes,
I
you're
mean,
a
pero-
good-looking person, but
pero
your
lindo,
face
yeah.
keeps getting in the way.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
like
I don't get it.
so. I mean, so there's a lot of things that come from the culture that it's up to us to teach our children, because here it says children are not born racist. It's a
No.
it's a
Oh, it's
learned
taught.
behavior.
Absolutely.
You know, so it's just very interesting that what does it say here when now as an adult, this person continues to say, "I see how subtle and deep racism can be in the Latin culture. Children aren't born racist. They learn racist behaviors as they grow. We have to be mindful of how language describes us, how we talk about others, and what we teach our children. We perpetuate the stereotypes that diminish the unmeasurable value of our multicultural ethnicity. We shouldn't be glorifying one race over the other."
But
And
now,
do you think that still exists? You know why?
oh, absolutely, it's always going to exist.
Because now there's a platform of Afro-Latinos who are coming to the forefront to make themselves known.
Exactly.
Because the thing here is that when we speak about black, you automatically think about African American.
Right.
People tend to forget that black is a color that is owned by the world. There's
Exactly.
blacks in Europe. There are black Cubans, black Dominicans, black Haitians, black Jamaicans, black Puerto Ricans, Panamanians. Pero
Except Mexican, they're brown.
but
black and brown, it's
Yeah,
But
yeah.
the thing is, you want to mejorar la raza, so you're really contradicting yourself with racism because of the fact you're just talking about color.
yeah,
Color's not racist.
you are.
You are the racist.
Yeah.
You think that because this person is dark is not any good? Bro, do some research. Bro.
Yeah,
Some
let
of
me
the best
tell you.
inventions, some of the elite minds in this world are of African descent.
And black
Latino
is
descent.
beautiful. let me
Yes,
tell
it is.
you. Black is beautiful.
Black don't crack.
Right? My grandfather, he was black Puerto Rican, and he died at 103 years old.
Wow.
May he rest in peace. He looked amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing.
My grandmother.
Yeah.
La Negra.
See,
They
I
call her La
remember her.
Negra.
I remember
She
her.
was dark as dark.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you, black is beautiful, man.
That's right,
I don't
Maria
want to see nobody
Ignorancia.
ecru or off-white and stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Maria Barreto says there is no bad hair. Curly hair is hair that's alive. Exactly.
Exactly.
So I mean, it's really up to us to make the difference. I think a lot of this mentality comes from our grandparents' era, great
Yes,
grandparents' era.
yes,
I'm not
yes.
saying that my grandparents thought this way, but I'm just making a
But
generalization.
the thing is, also, that's the thinking of that era.
Yeah,
That's the way it was at that era. You can't compare the era to the way it is now,
yeah,
because if you keep going back in history and not learning from it,
right.
you're gonna keep repeating it.
Yeah,
You're not gonna be able to move on.
yeah,
And there was a thing that Morgan Freeman said.
yeah.
He says, "You want to stop racism? Stop talking about it.
There you go.
Stop using the racist card. Stop
Right,
pulling the racist card. Stop
right.
saying, 'Oh, he's gonna get over because he's black and all this stuff.'" And no, no,
Yeah,
no, no.
yeah,
If both of you are equally qualified, then we'll have a tiebreaker.
yeah. I mean, that's ideal, but in the real world,
No,
it's not going to
no,
happen.
no. It's not. It's
It's
not.
not going to happen.
Reality will smack you in the face time after time.
Yeah,
You know, and
that's
it's
the
a
world we
sad
live
state,
in.
and
But
never gonna move. We're never gonna move on.
but it's up to us to take a stance. It's up to us to teach our children, and move away from that old school mentality way of
Exactly.
thinking.
And that's going to be
You
a
know?
hard thing because people are set in their ways. And the people who
They
are
are
set in
set
their
in their
ways,
ways.
teach it to the other ones who, let's say you live in a rural area.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, when I went to boot camp,
Yeah.
we had this kid from the sticks of Kentucky. He never saw a black person in real life until he went to boot camp.
Mhm.
You see them on TV and stuff
I
like that. He said,
believe
I
it.
can't wait to ride home to Ma. We're living here with colored people. That's just in the 80s.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah,
so
yeah.
yo le eché puya. I
Uh-huh.
said, yeah, coloreds and stuff. Yeah, the Negroids and all this stuff and everything. And I kept messing with him. He goes, you're right. And I'm looking at him, bro, you racist piece of crap. But the thing is, he didn't know any
He
better.
fell into that. Yeah,
He
Yeah,
didn't
It
know.
wasn't his fault.
It wasn't his
wasn't
fault,
his
really.
fault.
But now, at the end of boot camp, bro, all he was hanging out was the brothers.
Sí. María Barreto says muchos decían refranes expresando cariño.
Yes.
This is true. Negrito is un refrán de cariño.
But in today's world,
yeah.
you're doing harm. We meant it in a
Yeah.
in a cariñoso way because
Yeah.
that was the way we were taught
Yeah.
back then.
Yeah.
We were taught to love everybody because in
Right.
Puerto Rico you had all shades.
Right, right. But in the Hispanic community, it's understood
Yes,
that is
yes.
cariñoso.
Yes.
Negrito, negrita.
But now you tell it to a non-Latino wannabe activist or whatever. That's degrading. I said, bro, how's
Yeah.
that gonna be degrading? That's hundreds of years, and we do that. That's because we cariño. Instead of you trying to put your 2 cents in it, let us give you 2 cents and compare it with your 2 cents.
Right. And
And
learn
learn.
about the culture.
Exactly.
And know
Don't
that
think
this
you
is
learn.
where we come from. So it's just
Yeah,
like
that's
yin
just
and
like
yang.
that's just like a baby a pediatric psychologist telling you how to raise your children, and you never had kids.
Right. Exacto. Bueno, mi gente, so that was a little brief history on our education on certain refranes
Yes.
that's said in the Latino community. Let's move on to something up my field.
Oh, what? Working in the produce section of the supermarket?
No, let's talk about music.
Okay, la
Let's
música.
talk about la música, la música.
Music
Bueno,
soothes the savage beast.
yes, so Ricky Martin, Living La Vida Loca, and Linda
Linda Ronstadt.
Linda Ronstadt, right? With her music or her album Canciones de Mi Padre, and the debut album of the Cuban music ensemble Buena Vista Social Club
I love
were
those guys.
added to the Audio History Library
Yes.
this year.
The National Recording Registry.
Yes, that's a huge deal.
Yes, it is.
Huge
Yes,
deal.
it is. They become like they're like the Muzak form now.
Right.
Like the elevator music. Once
Right.
you get into Muzak form, bro, you get royalties for the rest of your life.
So let's read a little bit about what's going on. So defining records from Ricky Martin, Linda Ronstadt, and Buena Vista Social Club have been inducted into the National Recording Registry, the Library of Congress announced. Martin's Latin pop mega hit, Living La Vida Loca, Ronstadt's Spanish language traditional Mexican music album, Canciones de Mi Padre, and the debut album of the Cuban music ensemble Buena Vista Social Club are among 25 records and albums that were added this year to the nation's audio history library for preservation. Ronstadt's song, well, people know her song, You're No Good from the 70s.
Yeah, Blue by You.
Blue by You.
It hurt so bad.
Right. Unfortunately, she retired in 2009 with a condition called progressive supranuclear palsy.
Supranuclear palsy. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a rare and incurable brain disorder,
Right.
similar to Parkinson's.
Right.
Roseland sang everything from new wave to rock to country ballads, opera, rancheras.
See,
A
that's
popular-
what I like about
Yes,
her.
because she never denied her Mexican heritage, and
Right.
she proudly portrayed it.
Y ella
She
metió
can sing.
ella metió mano en todo.
Yes, she had a
En
hand in
todo.
everything.
So she reminds me of what Celia Cruz did also, because Celia Cruz did everything.
Yes.
Salsa, merengue,
Pop también.
pop,
Reggaeton.
house, reggaeton,
Yeah.
salsa. She did everything.
Celia, I love you, pero tú eres entrometida. In a good way.
You know, because you worked with her.
Oh man, one of the best women I've ever known in my life, man.
And so Linda Ronstadt, with that album, so this album, Canciones de Mi Padre, won a Grammy, went double platinum, and was what set off the trend for ranchera music.
Yeah.
And it sold 2.5 million units in the first Mexican album to sell non-English Mexican
yeah,
album.
that's I mean, now these days is not much of a big deal, but back then,
Yeah,
especially in the Latin music industry,
2.5
because
million.
we
That's
know
amazing.
in salsa,
Yeah.
50,000 got you a gold, and 100,000 got you a platinum. Because salsa music wasn't as big as mainstream music was, so they had to set a little goal.
Right.
But now you got these, megastars like Mark Anthony, Ricky Martin,
Mm-hmm.
and all these people selling millions and millions and selling out arenas just by themselves.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that led to it, and also Linda Ronstadt basically was the pioneer for the Ricky Martins, the Buena Vista Social Clubs, the Selenas, the Jennifer Lopez,
Yeah.
and all these new artists to come out. She paved the way.
She sure
Yeah.
did.
She should become a national treasure.
Yeah. So, she paved the way for Selena Quintanilla, se dice?
See, that's why I just said Selena.
You didn't want to say her last name.
That's no Quintanilla.
Quintanilla.
I just
And
remembered it now.
Gloria Estefan,
Hey,
back in the 80s.
Right.
And remember the Latin music explosion in the I was gonna say the 1900s. in the
Está preservado, mijo.
in the 1990s and 2000, that was led by Shakira, Ricky Martin, and J-Lo.
Exactly.
They were the Latin explosion of that time.
Yes.
So congratulations, guys.
Absolutely.
It's amazing that your song is so great that it can be inducted like that.
Yes.
That is just amazing. Congratulations. Who's chiming in
Doris
here?
Ruiz, saludos.
Doris, saludo.
And so and her father Gilbert,
Yeah,
who knew a lot of beautiful Mexican love songs that were
Right.
passed down
yeah.
to him by Ronstadt's grandfather Federico, who was born in Sonora, Mexico in 1868,
Yeah.
to a German father and a Mexican mother.
Mexican
That's
mother.
where I guess Linda got that last name from.
Yeah. Welcome, Ralphie. Thank you for watching. Congrats to all the inductees. Yes, Maria. Canciones con
Comparte Latino Ruido, mi gente apoyando.
Exactamente. Canciones de mi padre, exacto. Crossed over and then some. Saludo, Dori. So, music is important, and I think we kind of don't want to get away from the authenticity of what music is, and what I mean by that is that a lot of it has become electronic.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? And especially in the genre that I perform in, salsa music, I prefer it to all be authentic.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
because
saying?
you have when you do authentic bands and whether recording, I mean, I could record it digitally in the studio, not a
Yeah.
problem. But when you're live, I want to have the band because you have
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
little imperfections
Yeah.
and stuff like that, and it gives you the feel that there are people present playing the
Sí,
music. It's just
sí.
like when you went from records to CDs.
Yeah.
CDs it's too perfect
Yeah.
because it's digitized.
Right.
in records, you got the pops in the
Mhm.
records, and then you have better quality of music
Yeah.
because you get the better basses, you get the better mids and the highs,
That's where
and
the good mixing and mastering come in.
absolutely, absolutely. But the thing is, with digital music now, you're able to put out more music faster.
I don't like faster.
No, no,
I
not
don't like
necessarily,
faster.
but you can still come out with a decent product,
Yeah.
recorded product.
Right.
But I wouldn't want to go live singing off a reel
Yeah.
when you can have the band.
Yeah. See, my thing is digital music. People can get away a lot with
yes.
digital music because there are synthesizers that give you realistic sounds.
Yes.
You know?
Well, you can like the old Yamaha DX7.
Yeah.
You can sample the actual sound.
Yeah.
I can have you do a trumpet
Mhm.
sound, and I can sample it, and it'll
Right.
come out exactly like a trumpet. And then I can stretch it. I can
Right.
put a low on it. I could do whatever I want with
Yeah.
it. But it's an authentic sound.
Right. Pero with that said, you can't fool the ears of a
Oh.
real salsa
Absolutely not.
singer or a
Absolutely not.
musician
Absolutely
or a
not.
dancer or consumer.
But
you know?
the way I look at it also, when you have digital music, you help people who are musically inclined
Mm-hmm.
but can't necessarily play an instrument,
Right.
but is good with the technology.
Right.
And that gives them a chance to get into the business and stuff like that, and it
Right.
helps them out a little bit. But like I said, when you're performing live,
Yeah.
You
No,
have to have a
performing
band.
live is a totally different monster.
yeah,
You know, it's a whole different energy. When you record in a studio, it's a very controlled
yes,
environment. You know, you take your time, you do things over and over, you sit back, you listen. That's with all the recordings of each instrumentation. But when you're live, it's all up
yeah. See,
for grabs.
question of it: do you like live or CD? It all depends that now, because I like to sit down in a lounge
Right.
or something, and somebody singing live to a maybe a couple of strings and a piano, and just
Yeah.
sitting there and the whole smoke filled atmosphere, sipping a cognac, like I say, hanging out with people and listening to people sing live. But when I'm home,
Johnny says performing live is a beast, not a monster.
well, yeah, you're right about that. You're right about that, Johnny.
It's
Bienvenido
true.
al show, Johnny.
Bienvenido.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm here live and you're not.
Yeah. Recording studios with real instruments. That's what I'm talking about.
Yes.
Maria Barreto says, I'm all about live instruments. I grew up, well, when I first started my career back in 1997 in salsa music, I'm all about calling a musician, making an appointment with them
Oh yeah,
so
absolutely.
they can come in,
Yes.
do your part, but you must read because I always have charts.
See, I can't read music
Since when did you start? I didn't know that you were
because
interested.
I can do digital music
Uh,
and stuff like that. But to read music,
No. That's a talent in itself.
Fire
And
me.
That's what I like. I like the appointments. I like you to come in. I like to supervise. I like to watch and listen. I like the process.
yeah, absolutely. But you know what that comes down to also? Cost.
Hey, listen. If you want a good
a
product,
lot of labels say, listen, bro, I don't care what you do live, but in the
Right.
studio you gotta do this because the budget.
right?
The
Well,
more you stretch the dollar, it's gonna rip.
listen. I'd rather take my time and save money and pay for the cost, and get a really good product.
Oh, absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
The other thing is that things are a little different now. I'm also in agreement with putting out albums, but nowadays, what's happening is that when somebody puts out an album, you're putting out a great amount of amazing songs that you have in that album, and it's just going to go over a lot of people's heads.
oh yes.
You know, so what my practice now is going to be, and has been for actually quite a few years now, is pumping out singles
Yeah.
one at a time, and producing a music video so that that one song has as much promotion as possible. Either what
Okay.
happens 3-4 months later, I'll continue with another one.
And then what you can do once you, let's say you got an EP with
An EP,
9
right?
like 8-9 songs. At the end of your last single,
You push
then
it,
you put it all together
right?
and then box it,
Yeah,
video and the music.
yeah. And the thing is,
Chavo.
my other belief is that today music is very visual. You know,
Yes.
singles, when you put a single out there, it may hit, it may not. But what I noticed is that that when there's a music video, you get the song even more. You know, you become connected to the song. You understand the song when you see visualization connected with the song. And I got that realization when I was actually with Johnny Silvestri.
Okay.
Um, his song,
The other Johnny.
the other Johnny, I was watching his music video and it made sense. And
Yes.
I heard his song and I liked it, but when I saw the music video, I liked it even more.
Because see, a lot of people will throw out a video
Yeah,
and it's like, what does that have to do with the song?
yeah,
Now, you putting out a song, now you're visualizing the storytelling of that song.
right,
You're putting it now. I had it in words. You heard it in words.
Right.
And he goes, now I see the video. Now I get it.
yeah,
You know, and that's how you capture your audience, and that's what makes an artist.
yeah.
And you have to keep outdoing yourself. You can't just keep throwing things out because you're.
Thank you for that, LDM.
Because you're popular and stuff like that. And you
Yeah.
just keep throwing out. People gonna listen. No,
Yeah.
you got to throw out quality because at the end of the day, people gonna look at you and say, Yo, "What did you really do?
Yeah,
You made a banging beat."
right.
You know, and it's true. Maria Barreto, she's people are visual.
People are visual. We live in a visual. Our attention span is so short nowadays that we're always on the run. New York City is always on the run,
Yeah.
which is why when you listen to music alone and you're on the run, it doesn't really sink in. You're either gonna have to sit in a car and listen to the song alone, or sit at home or in a bar or whatever with a screen and see the video.
Right,
Then you
but
get
now-
connected.
Back then, before like you say, video killed the radio star. Remember that?
Yeah.
I would listen to this composer called Ennio Morricone. The guy
Okay.
who did all the spaghetti.
Yeah.
Wah,
Okay.
wah, wah.
Uh-huh.
Listen to his music.
Okay.
Close your eyes.
Okay.
We'll listen to the same song, and it'll take us two complete different places.
Of course. Of course.
That's music. And
Of course.
there's no
That is
vocals.
music.
There's no
That is
vocals.
music.
That is music. If you
Yeah.
can transport me somewhere
Yeah.
without having you to tell me
Yeah.
or sing, that's music.
Mi gente, that's what I call música intelectual.
Exactly.
That's what I call, that's poetry right there.
Yeah, exact poetry.
That's
Exactly.
poetry. You know,
Exactly.
we hear the same song, but you go somewhere and I go to a different direction.
Yeah.
But it works.
That's
It works.
that's also with like the freestyle industry.
Yeah.
Love the freestyle industry.
Yeah.
Love it. I know a lot of people. They doing great stuff and everything. But a lot, you talk about the same thing a lot.
Yeah.
You broke up with me, and I met you, and all this. I like to be told a story,
Yeah. Give me a story.
like
right.
a gran combo.
Right. No, yeah.
The one by New York.
Oh, yeah.
And
Un verano en Nueva York.
Un verano en Nueva York, and the one with the Christmas.
Yeah.
El lechón, el arroz
Sí,
con
sí.
gandules.
A comer pastel, a comer
Exactly, you know,
lechón, arroz con
That's
gandules.
what I like to hear also. But you know, every once in a while, especially when you're feeling in the doldrums and stuff like that,
Yeah.
you want to hear break up music.
Yeah.
Yeah, sometimes you want to hear something like this. You know?
I have no idea.
Yeah, you know, and the thing is, I wish that I was musically inclined.
Yeah.
I mean, I know about the business and stuff,
Yeah.
and I have a lot of things in my head, but I just can't put it out because I can't play
Yeah.
an instrument.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
that's
yeah.
why with the keyboard, you
Yeah.
throw samples out and you cut this, loop that, and everything, and you piece everything together, and that's what helps a lot of the producers that are up and coming now
Mhm.
that are not musically inclined as far
Right.
as playing an instrument and stuff like that, and they're able to do this, but you want to keep their realistic sound. I don't
Yeah.
want to give you an electronic sound.
Mhm.
I want to use real timbales. I want to use real trumpets. I want to use real strings,
Yeah.
and guitarras, and piano, and then put that in there and make it as realistic as possible.
Exactly.
Until, if you want to throw a remix, and then that's when you
Right.
can get creative or whatever. But I want to throw out a song. It was like, "Coño, bro, he had all those band members in the studio."
Yeah.
That's quality.
That is quality.
That is, and a lot of people don't do that because
Yeah.
they want to throw out products. They
Yeah.
want to throw out products
Yeah.
too quick.
And the thing is, things are done differently now. Back in
yeah.
the days, they would have the whole band in the studio,
In the studio, exactly.
and play together.
Yeah. And then doing an edit. Back then, you would have to cut tape,
That is
tape it
amazing.
and stuff like this. A 10-second edit used to take hours, if not days, to get perfect. Cutting a lot of tape. Now
Yeah.
you can do a 10-second. You can do a 5-minute edit in less than 20 minutes.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, that's what it's become. But you know, I still think music is music, but traditional music is always gonna
Yeah.
rule.
I mean, as long as we hold on to the process.
Oh,
You know,
yes.
don't lose the process.
No,
you know?
no, you can't lose the process. And like I say, music soothes the savage beast.
Listen,
That comes and that brings a lot of people together,
yeah,
especially when you cross genres. When you listen to like, I mean, a lot of the old heads as far as the country music, traditional country music and
Yeah.
stuff. When they start putting a little pop in there and stuff, it makes it interesting because now you bring a whole sort of other people
yeah,
in it, and it goes, let me listen to what this tradition was.
yeah.
You know, and like same thing with what's that? Oh my God, the music they play in New Orleans.
Oh,
Yeah, I know, right?
jazz.
No. The where music really started with what's the name of
Blues.
that movie?
What was that?
Blues.
Blues.
Oh.
With blues, that basically started everything.
Yeah,
You know, because you saw the lawsuits against Led Zeppelin,
yeah,
stealing their songs and
Yeah.
stuff, and they've actually won.
Yeah.
When you listen to blues, man, they're telling you a story. This is some funny stuff.
yeah.
You know,
So
and that's
this-
music.
I mean, so again, congratulations to the inductees.
Yes,
If you have
absolutely.
any comments, chime in. If you want to call us at 347-640-3920. Music is like food and sports. It brings people together.
Absolutely,
Exactly,
Maria. You hit the nail right on the head twice.
Yes, yes.
Hey, Lourdes, what's up, Lourdes?
Lourdes chimes in.
Yeah,
Welcome,
yeah,
Lourdes. So we talked about let's talk about this one.
The elephant in the room.
So listen, women.
Oh,
Women.
abortion.
We're going to talk about abortion. Abortion in Puerto Rico. They just, April 7, 2022, they recently introduced a bill that would prohibit abortion starting at 22 weeks or when a doctor determines that a fetus is viable, with the sole exception of being if a woman's life is in danger. That is roughly in line with most of the U.S. state laws, though more limiting than Puerto Rico's current status. What do you think about that?
Oof,
That's
a hot potato.
that's a hot topic.
potato because the fact that you a woman, you could never know what a woman is going through unless you're a woman.
Right.
I'm sorry. You know what I mean? I am not pro-abortion, and I'm not with it. I'm not against it or whatever. That decision should be solely up to the woman.
Right.
Because you know what? If you decide that you want to get an abortion just because you want to get one, you got to live with that.
Yeah.
That's the demon that's going to live with you
Right.
forever and ever.
Yeah.
So there's not a man should not be telling a woman what their rights to their body is.
Well,
Plain and simple.
the whole the Senate committee is all men, basically.
Of course.
Most,
Most of them.
and they're the ones who make these decisions.
Yeah, and those are the
Um,
old cigar smoking,
Right.
whiskey drinking men that think they're high and mighty.
Right. So here's the. Well, Nathan says the law suggests Puerto Rico will soon become a state.
That was one of the topics that I wanted to talk about. That's going to be for a future show. It's going to be
Yeah.
very interesting, Nathan.
That I
Very
don't know if in our lifetime.
I
In
don't-
our lifetime, I don't know.
I think Puerto Rico is going to end up staying a commonwealth.
I think so
I
too.
am sorry to hear that,
I
but
think
they
so
would.
too.
Hopefully, they can modify
Yeah.
their. The first thing you got to get rid of or modify the Jones Act.
Yeah.
You have to let Puerto Rico make its money, but it's not going to happen. Why? Puerto Rico is the cash cow for the mainland.
Yeah.
A huge cash because only Congress has sole control over Puerto Rico's status. And you have all these Congress people who want these changes for Puerto Rico, but they're not doing anything.
Yeah. Well, before we continue
AOC,
with that,
step up to the plate.
let's talk about this. What do you guys? What's your opinion? What do you think about this new bill that was introduced in Puerto Rico about abortion?
Yeah.
There was a protest with some of the health organizations, some of the feminist groups out there, and they completely overrode them, and they didn't have a public hearing about
Right.
this topic. So they didn't give people an opportunity to chime in
Right.
from different parties in Puerto Rico.
Because they know
They
it would have
just
been a disaster for the
Right.
ones who are trying to implement this stuff.
right. So they just went ahead and introduced this bill.
Yeah.
So the thing is, you hit it on the nail where you have someone who, vamos a suponer, let's say, that they're constantly getting pregnant because they're not being safe and they're constantly getting abortions. I knew somebody like that, got 6, 7 abortions just because
Me
they
too.
didn't want the baby.
I
Right?
didn't have the abortions, but I know somebody.
And then you have women who need to have the abortions because it's a health issue. And then what about a woman who's raped
Exactly.
and doesn't want the child?
What they're saying is it's not the child's fault. Bring it to birth and then give it up.
Right.
Again, thank God I don't have to make that decision.
So I mean,
Because
what do you think out there in
it's-
Latino Ruido
Yeah,
land?
and it's here in this abortion bill. It goes, the move comes at a time when a conservative majority on the U.S. Supreme Court has many speculating that it may reverse or weaken the constitutional right to abortion recognized under the landmark 1973 Roe versus Wade.
Right.
So they've been trying to get rid of that for the longest.
Right.
And there's a good chance that this is going to get weakened.
Yeah.
It's going to get weakened. There's going to be a lot of problems for the fact that now we were talking about earlier the woman who just likes having abortions.
Right.
They don't understand that you're doing damage
To your
to
body.
your body
Yeah.
that you're going to end up paying for. Guess what? You get older, and the body gets weaker. And what happens when you keep stretching something? It's going to eventually break.
Yeah.
You're not going to have the elasticity of that rubber band forever.
Yeah, Luanda, welcome. Thank you for chiming in. But it's another topic to look into and to discuss. It's right here. It says Puerto Rico Senate had been expected to vote Monday on the bill, but instead kicked it back to the Committee on Life and Family Affairs following criticisms about the lack of public hearings. Rodriguez, one of the senators who authored the bill, oversees the committee. It is a big topic, and they're kind of like going through with it, and I don't know what the end result's going to be.
The end result, honestly, is going to be disastrous because if you implement that, a woman is going to have an abortion no matter what. Now, they're going to go to these butchers.
Right.
They're going to destroy these poor women.
Yeah.
Because if this woman, let's say that they were having sex,
Yeah.
condom breaks.
Yeah.
Or the pill that they were taking didn't work.
Right.
And
And
then again, that's your decision. And now if by law you can't get one, guess what? You're gonna go to a butcher.
Yeah.
He's gonna say, "Oh, I could do it for $500."
Right.
Kill them.
Right. Now, this bill, what's happening also is that is putting a strain between the patient and doctor relationship.
Yes.
Because what's happening is that any doctor, legit doctor, who performs an abortion will be registered, and it's going to cause their practice to not exist anymore, or they can lose their license.
Also, yeah, exactly. And also, once that happens, an insurance company will say no,
Yeah.
because the bottom line is going to come down to whether the insurance company is going to say yes or no.
Yeah.
I mean, it can be forced to do something, but if you have that law saying that you can't get an abortion,
Yeah.
now what's going to happen?
Yeah.
I mean, this puts all women in
In a bad situation.
a bad predicament, and I don't know. I
Yeah.
really, it's a sad state of affairs, and I hope you got to give them the right. And it's funny because a lot of the so-called deep-rooted Christians,
Mhm.
they say that no, you're not allowed to. The Bible says no abortions and stuff like that. And but I've yet to see where it says where it's exactly worded.
Yeah. Oh no,
About
a lot of it is man-made.
And then we're not. If you follow the Bible,
Mhm.
we're not supposed to judge people.
Right.
But what they do, judge.
Right.
The judge. It's not. It's wrong. It's wrong. And it's funny how you see all these people who are bringing up these bills and everything.
Mhm.
They're all men.
They're all men.
All men. Not one woman
all
is in
men.
there. Not one woman. It is something wrong. Women, stand up. Stand up. Especially my Latinas, because we're a dying breed.
Yeah. Yeah.
You guys
But-
are a dying breed, and mejor me quedo solo si no puedo estar con una Latina.
Going back to the statehood of Puerto Rico, back to what we were talking about, or that Nathan mentioned. Um, it's I don't think it's possible because we have a lot of independista. Se dice así?
You know what's funny? They're not as big as you think. Their percentage is pretty small, but what it is, they're making noise, so it makes them look bigger.
Yeah,
The biggest thing now, remember, Puerto Rico has voted several times for statehood,
yeah,
and Congress said, nah, not this time, maybe next time.
yeah.
Because Congress said, okay, vote for it, and then we'll go from there. And they go like this, holy crap, they want a state,
Yeah.
you know. But then the thing is, they get the benefits that they needed, but then now you're liable for state and city tax.
Right. If you
So
become a
gotta-
state.
if you become a state.
Right.
And now, if Puerto Rico becomes independent, guess what?
Then
You lose your citizenship.
you lose
You're
your.
born in Puerto Rico.
I lose my.
You
citizenship.
become illegal.
You lose your
Not me.
citizenship.
I was born here, baby.
Oh, that's right.
I
lose
was
my
born here. My
citizenship.
brother Willie becomes an alien.
Oh, he was born in
He
Puerto
becomes
Rico.
illegal.
Yeah.
Get him out.
I was born in
But,
Ponce, Puerto Rico, and I'm
see-
very proud of it.
See, the thing is, now, if you become independent,
Yeah.
now so you have to have your own currency, you have to have your own government and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Who's going to help you get on your feet?
They're going to depend on agriculture.
Agriculture. Who's going to give them the money for your agriculture?
That's the
The
problem.
U.S. is going to say, bro, te quiere lárgate.
Yeah.
That's where it leaves it open to China. Well, not Russia right now. They got their own
Yeah,
problems.
yeah, yeah.
But China. Because China have been doing this in Central America and South America. They'll come to China and say, oh, listen, we'll need taxes and PRs 11%. Look at that.
Yeah.
And
Yes,
they'll
Maria.
like China will go to you and say, you need money? All right, yeah, we'll loan you X amount, knowing that you're not going to be able to pay the VIG.
Of course.
So they'll say, you know what? Instead of the money, give us a piece. Give us Aguadilla. Give us San Juan. Give us Manatí. Give us Cataño, whatever. And that's how they move in. Because they've been doing it.
Right.
And China's got money. They're gonna pump billions and billions and say, okay, they're gonna help us. And then at the end, we're gonna be independent. No. You're really gonna be Chino Latino.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, do I want statehood? Do you want statehood? Right now.
Yes
I
and no.
I like
Because
the
for the fact
Commonwealth
that
right now.
that see what the Commonwealth is, Puerto Rico was just,
It's hanging.
it's hanging by a
floating.
thread, basically.
Right.
And then now, if you become a state, all these billionaire tax shelters and all this stuff and everything,
Mhm.
they hold the other because they got to pay taxes now,
Right.
and they're gonna leave the island.
Right. Like the individual who went and bought a property, Caucasian individual went to Puerto Rico, bought a
You got 2
property,
minutes.
and this property was a residential building facing the
You
ocean,
saw that
and
small little white building.
yeah, and there were people living there,
Yeah.
paying $400 or $500. This individual kicked everybody out,
Yep.
turned that building, that little building, into an Airbnb.
Yes.
And there was nothing they can do.
Yeah, and
And
the
he didn't
thing
pay
is,
taxes.
He paid $1 million for the building only.
Yeah.
Only $1 million.
Didn't pay
And the thing
taxes.
is, he told the residents, "You can come work for me." He goes, "But how am I going to come work for you when I don't have an address for you to send my checks to?"
Yeah.
He goes, María Barreto, el país no está
Construyendo
construyendo a la agricultura, a eso mismo. La gente no están sembrando. It's true.
Right.
Because now we're we're importing the same exact stuff that we used to export.
Yeah. She says that Wall Street has their hands in everything. In
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Everybody got their hands in Puerto Rico's butt.
Listen, this is Puerto Rico,
Yes, Port Rich.
rich
The
port.
rich port. Exactly.
Yeah.
The shining star of the Caribbean, baby.
Yeah, bueno, mi gente,
Yes.
this is the ending of the show. Thank you for tuning in. We will see you guys next Wednesday. This is El Latino Ruido. My name is Javier Luis.
And I am Johnny Dones, Johnny Boricua Prince Dones.
He's still in Florida mode.
Yeah.
And I'll be in Puerto Rico next week. Have a good evening and
Nos vemos.
enjoy yourselves. Bye.
Good night.
Por amor, soy de ti y seré